I'm going to tell you a story about women who helped shape our modern society and what they did and how very little we know of them. Hi everyone, Karen Cecilia here. I hope you're enjoying the videos. Truly hope you are. And remember to share the videos and like the videos and make a comment if you know of any woman in history that you think worth mentioning. You can send it to me and I will do some research and see if I can find it. This story comes to you from American Memories, and it is quite an interesting story. I can tell you. It certainly interests me. I hope it interests you. When medieval society told women that they had only two choices, marry or become a nun, thousands refused both and created a secret third option that lasted over 700 years. Now, imagine this with me. Imagine living in a world where your entire future has been decided before you were born. As a woman in the 1200s Europe, society offered you exactly two paths. You marry, surrender all your legal rights, bear children, obey your husband completely, own nothing in your own name. You don't even own your clothes. Or become a nun, take permanent vows to God, marry Jesus, live behind convent walls forever, require a dowry most families couldn't afford. Both options demanded the same price, your freedom. Both required lifelong obedience to male authority. Imagine that. But there were some women who looked at these two rigid paths and simply said, hell no, we choose neither. We're going to do something different. They called themselves the Beguines, and they built something revolutionary. Starting in the late 1100s across Belgium, the Netherlands, France, and Germany, women began forming independent communities that fit neither the official category or the ones that men want them to live in. They weren't married and they weren't nuns. They were something entirely new, something entirely of their own making and desire. They built beguinages, small houses arranged around shared courtyards and gardens, like some kind of self-contained villages designed by and for women. They prayed together daily, following spiritual practices that they created. They worked in skilled trades, weaving intricate cloth, creating lace that wealthy clients paid premium prices for. They brewed their own beer commercially, nursing the sick, teaching children to read, and teach adult young women different trades that they mastered. They supported themselves through their own labor. In many regions, they could legally own property and control their own money, something married women at the time absolutely could not do under medieval laws. And here's what made them truly revolutionary. They could leave whenever they wanted. They could say, all right, this is not for me, I'm gone. No one to stop them. No consequences, no price to pay. No permanent vows, no lifetime commitment. If a Beguine decided to marry, she could leave and go and marry. If she wanted to return home, she could. Her participation was completely voluntary, a radical concept in medieval Europe where women's choices were almost never voluntary. I'm sorry about the bike noise a while ago, these damn bikes. This independence terrified the church authorities. Women living without male supervision, unheard of. Women claiming direct spiritual experiences without priests or intermediaries. Women writing theology without official permission. Oh no, what could go so? Some Beguines became brilliant mystics whose works shaped medieval spirituality. Metchild of Magdeburg wrote the following light of the Godhead, recording divine visions in beautiful German prose. Adrich of Brabant created sophisticated poetry that scholars still study today. Marguerite Poré wrote The Mirror of Simple Souls, a theologically profound work about experiencing God directly. Church authorities call it heretical. In 1310, Marguerite was burned at the stake in Paris for refusing to recant what she wrote. Yet, her book survived, copied anonymously and circulated for centuries, influencing countless readers who never knew a woman wrote it. Church councils repeatedly investigated Beguine communities. Authorities imposed restrictions, demanding oversight by male. Male theologians wrote treatises arguing that women shouldn't interpret scripture independently. But they couldn't eliminate the movement. It kept growing, it kept spreading. At their peak, in the 13th and 14th centuries, thousands of Beguines lived across Europe in hundreds of communities. Major beguinages flourished in Ghent, in Louvain, in Cologne, in Paris, in Strasbourg, and dozens of other cities. Widows who didn't want to remarry joined. Women whose families couldn't afford convent dowries joined. Women who wanted contemplative religious life without permanent enclosure, they joined also. And crucially, women who simply wanted a different kind of life, who wanted to work, pray, learn, and live on their own terms, and they joined in large numbers. The Beguines created what medieval social structure never offered. They created a space where women could work meaningfully, pursue spiritual growth, build communities, and exercise genuine autonomy. They didn't ask permission. They didn't wait for approval. They just started building these communities. And the model proved so successful, it spread organically despite official resistance from the church, from the elders, from the leaders, from the government bodies. Oh, they all tried. Many beguinages lasted hundreds of years. Some survived the Protestant Reformation. Some persisted into the modern era. Several Belgian beguinages still stand today as UNESCO World Heritage Sites, preserved complexes with small houses around peaceful courtyards, silent witnesses to centuries when these spaces held women who refused to accept only the choices that men offered them. Walking through these preserved beguinages today, you can see exactly what this alternative looked like. Individual houses for privacy, shared courtyards for community, chapels for worship, workrooms for skilled traders, gardens for food and herbs. The Beguines didn't attempt violent revolution. They didn't write manifestos demanding rights using that kind of language. They simply built a door that wasn't supposed to exist, and thousands upon thousands of women walked through it across many generations. In a world insisting women had only two options, both requiring obedience to male authority, the Beguines demonstrated through lived example that a third option was always possible. A life of community without permanent enclosure, a life of meaningful work without male supervision, a life of faith practiced on their own terms, determined by them, a life of genuine freedom within medieval constraints. For centuries, despite opposition, despite restrictions, despite periodic persecution, that third option endured. The Beguines proved something essential. When official options are inadequate, people create alternatives. That's just it. When women are denied agency, they find ways to claim it anyway. Communities built on voluntary commitment and mutual support can thrive even in hostile environments. Women are resilient. They have always been the ones who find the way and create the path. Medieval women were told marriage and convents were their only choices. The Beguines said to them, "We choose neither." And they built something better that lasted over 700 years. That's not just historical curiosity, that's proof. Prove that the paths you are told are the only options really are. True proof that whatever they say that you should do, that is doesn't feel right for you, you don't have to. Proof that you can choose your own path. Sometimes in doing that, you have to build the door your own self and then walk through it and carry others with you. Give a big shout out to the Beguines. Women's Day International deserve recognition of these women. Join me again for the next one soon. Remember to like the video, share the video, send me a comment, something. All right. Thank you all very much. God bless you all. Stay safe, everybody, and keep your children safe.